welcome back. In this video today we're going to talk about the first of my Zettelkasten boxes, the index box. This is the first box that you set up. It's pretty simple. You just need to have 26 tabs, or in the case of Obsidian, 26 files labeled A through Z. Make sure you put the name of the box in front of the alphabetic letter. So instead of just naming it A, B, C, you're going to want to say index A, index B, index C, and so on all the way down through Z, because you can't have files with the same name within the software. And with that, let's go back to my desktop and I'll start showing you my index file along with some of the cards and little tips and tricks that I do to make it more effective. Okay, so here we are back on the screen on our read this first page, and you can always delete this once you've been in it and you're comfortable with it. I've kept it in here for now just because it makes an easy landing page. I also have the table of academic disciplines open because I want you to see how I use this to link to my index cards. So if we go ahead and we click and open up our index box, remember, clicking on the box is the equivalent for us of actually physically opening that drawer so that we can take a look at it. And then just kind of clicking and seeing through. So I didn't have anything in A, but I do have an index card in B for business ethics. Go ahead and click on that. And here's how my index cards look. Generally, it just has the keyword, and I've chosen, instead of coming up with my own keywords, I've opted to use words from the table of academic disciplines. So in this case, the keyword is ethics. We're talking about business ethics specifically. Within the table of academic disciplines, here's the number that was assigned. And then I do have a see also or a cross-reference section because maybe I come across business ethics, but it's not quite right. It's not, you know, what I'm looking for. Holding down the control key and using your mouse to hover, you'll be able to see at least the first 100 words approximately of the other card. This is the equivalent to me of thumbing through my physical Zettelkasten. You know, the left hand kind of holds the tabs while the right hand kind of fingers through and walks through the cards. Same concept here. The control button is being held kind of like to hold the tab, and the mouse is being moved through each of the cards, kind of like I'm thumbing through it. And so if I hover over normative ethics, I can see that I've cross-referenced business ethics and meta ethics and descriptive ethics. Same thing with meta ethics. Because they're all ethics related, I wanted to be able to select the one that best suits what I'm going to be writing about at that moment. And then I can also designate the level of academic discipline that it falls under. So if we look at descriptive ethics here, you can see that business ethics 5030400 is a business academic discipline. Normative ethics, meta ethics, and descriptive ethics all fall under the branch of philosophy. Now, I should know that just by looking at the numbers, right? 100 versus 500. But I like to keep it simple and easy, and rather than try to strain the brain here to memorize numbers and what they mean, I would just rather cross-reference it and say what it means. Okay, so obviously under linked mentions here, and this is one of the reasons I really do like Obsidian, is that I can see where business ethics has been tagged. Obviously it's going to be tagged in the index, it's going to be tagged on the table of academic disciplines, so you can see here. You'll notice that I have these 3 dashes here. That means that this specific academic discipline is not being used anywhere. When I do want to create it and link it to an index card, I type in the description and then the numbers, since I'm filing these alphabetically. Go back to that card. And again, using control and my mouse, I can hover and see, okay, so in this case, business ethics, this specific card, and we'll talk about these cards later, is talking about ethical leadership. And if I scroll down, this one is talking about the 4 normative peculiarities of ethical leadership. So you can see here that I have tied very specific concepts to business ethics. Now, I think in Scott Scheper's book, he talks about using the title to be descriptive and then filing it based under that keyword. I think for me personally, that's too granular. I need a broader category, and then I can kind of thumb through the cards to see what I'm looking for. And I thumb through these cards constantly with every research article that I review and research and read and take apart, because I want to see if I already have a card created before I make a new card, or see if I can build on a card that I've created rather than start from an empty card. And then you can see here that this is the same number, but it says continued, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. Descriptive ethics, again, it's telling you that I have that cross-reference in there. Same thing with meta-ethics and normative ethics. And so there's an example of one of the index cards. Let's go ahead and take a look at another index card. So I'm going to close up my tab, and I'm going to scroll down here to S and to social theory. Now this is a typical index card. I only have one social theory that I tie to, and that's the 2095800. So I don't have a see also or a cross reference here. But again, you can see it is tied to the index, right? Because I have it's in my index file. I have it tied to a main card or a Zet card, and in this case, I'm talking about a theory called the paradox of normative versus peculiarities. And then it's also in my table of academic disciplines. And so these are just the index cards. There's nothing really complicated about them. I don't have to write on each card what it's tied to, because Obsidian does do that for me automatically, which is something that I really like and appreciate, because if I find another card on social theory, for example, I can look here and see, okay, what else have I talked about social theory? Does this build off of something else that I've talked about related to that topic? Is it something new that I want to add a new card for, or things of that nature? So I hope that you find this to be helpful, and that you can now understand how the index box works. And since we're done with our index box for now, we're going to go ahead and shut that drawer. Again, this is the self-discipline that I had mentioned in the previous videos about treating your digital boxes as you would an analog system, opening and closing those drawers, moving your way in and out of the tabs, thumbing through the cards to see what's there. So I hope that answered your questions on the index card. If you have any other questions about the index box, the index cards, how I tag them or let Obsidian automatically tag them, or any questions about how I cross-reference the cards, please feel free to leave a comment below, and I'll try to answer that for you in one of my upcoming videos. In the meantime, I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.